Hey folks, it's Marvin Cash, the host of the Articulate Fly, and we're back with another Western North Carolina fishing report with Dale Collins of Tuckaseegee Fly Shop. How you doing, Dale?
Doing great, Marvin. Enjoying the evening here on the front porch, not worrying about mowing grass since I can't buy no gas. But other than that, it's great.
Yeah, hopefully that's going to get fixed here in the next few days.
It seems to be. I think by midweek here, we'll be sitting in a lot better shape here in Western North Carolina.
Very good. I looked at your weather, and I mean, it's spectacular. Like I don't see a raindrop in the forecast for the next week to 10 days.
You know, this has been a really interesting May. We've had a really cool start to the month here, as we're kind of just past the halfway point in the month, and seasonably cooler temperatures. And now we're kind of getting back into a normal May pattern. So, the green worms are starting to appear. You know, the greeny weenies are going to start to come into play with your terrestrials. And so it kind of transitioned to a lot of those summer hatches and summer happenings on the water. But yeah, the weather is perfect. Water temperature is going to start to creep up. One thing Shannon and I were looking at today is our overnight lows. So we're going to have some, warm days in the 70s, pushing 80. But then at night, it's not going to cool off but to about 60. And that's really, those overnight times are really what allows our streams to cool off. So you might see a reading on, maybe the Cataloochee gauge for the water temperature, go from the mid to upper 50s. It's going to shoot up to the mid 60s here, low to mid 60s for the mornings. And then you really need to have that thermometer with you on the stream and watch that temperature. And I would recommend when it hits 66, just hang it up for a little bit and wait for that water to cool back up so you don't stress those fish too much.
Yeah, good time to take a nap.
Absolutely.
So the great thing, though, about having this kind of unusually cool spring is you're still probably getting a longer tail on kind of the traditional spring hatches too, right?
Oh, my goodness, yeah. We're still seeing Hendricksons. And typically that's kind of like our early mid-spring hatch. So that's exciting. We're still seeing some drakes flying around these creeks. It's very diverse right now. And, blueing olives certainly are going to be prevalent. But in the afternoons, definitely toss on that yellow Sally and take advantage of those guys. And, if you see a bug flying around, catch it. And it's not necessarily about matching that specific bug, but just try to get that color as close as you can is what's in the surroundings, and probably have more luck matching the color in the Smokies than you would specific patterns or flies.
Got it. And we were talking before we started recording that, on the DH water, you were a little bit surprised that the fish weren't eating as much junk food this DH season as they usually are.
And I think it's, they've been hammered out of the gate with some of the junk and then quickly condition themselves to not eat that stuff is my hypothesis there. But yeah, the hare's ear has been fantastic all through spring. Girdle bug, of course, that's kind of a go-to, and that's a stonefly pattern. Seeing big stonefly shucks on the rocks. But a little like number 16 quill perdigon that's got a fast sink rate, but it's really going to appear more natural than, let's say, mop fly or something. Certainly a wormy. But yeah, it's been interesting to see those more natural, fun to. I like to call them fundamental patterns. Be more successful, certainly on my trips, than some of the junk.
Yeah, well, there you go. And we've got a question from Matt, and this is an interesting one. We were kind of noodling on it before we started recording, and he wanted to know if you had any secrets to keep aggressive chubs and shiners and non-trout from taking your fly. I mean, we've all, certainly most of us have had that happen. And, it's one thing. I'm not sure of many tactics you could try to keep that from happening besides maybe size up on the fly. Or, sometimes you can be sitting on a nest of those things, so to speak. I guess it'd be a school would be a proper fish term. But, take a step up, change your angle so that fly doesn't necessarily come right over that nest, because it could just be those fish are attacking that pattern as a defense mechanism rather than a hungry snack. So, but certainly size up and, move around a lot more. And as we get warmer, some of those things you're just not going to avoid, like the knotty heads. We're seeing them get pretty active on the Tuck and some of the streams around the fly fishing trails. So, it's like
it's a native fish, so you can't help it but catch it sometimes. And, take a look at it, take it off the hook, toss it back, and keep casting.
Yeah, just add it to your tally, right?
That's it. Yeah, it's got fins. It counts.
Yeah, there you go. And so, folks, we love questions at the Articulate Fly. You can email them to us or shoot them to us on our Facebook or Instagram page. And if we use your question, I'll send you some Articulate Fly swag, and we will enter you into a drawing for something cool from the shop at the end of the season. And Dale, before I let you hop, why don't you let folks know shop locations and shop hours and all that kind of good stuff?
Absolutely. So we got 2 locations. The original down in Bryson City at 3 Depot Street with a big brown trout statue out front. We are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday there. And then we are located downtown Silva, and that's going to be 530 West Main, and 8 to 5 there as well, Monday through Saturday. And then always tuckflyshop.com.
Well, there you go. Well, folks, it's a great time to be fishing in the Smokies. We've only got a couple weeks left on DH. We've got some great hatches going on in the park. You owe it to yourself to get out there and catch a few. Tight lines, everybody. Tight lines, Dale.
You too, Marvin.